not quite new, but it's new to me. Used Buckeye Breeze LX, and it has the 912 engine on it. And I need to build a trailer, and so we'll build a trailer from Harbor Freight trailers. This is the Harbor Freight trailer. I've got it all piled up here. I've got some extra material that I bought from a scrapyard, and hopefully that'll be enough to build this little custom trailer. Alright, to cut my material, I'm just using a simple little cut-off disc, cut-off wheels, and so I grind these off. I'm going to use these later as on my ramps. So this is what I have left on the material. I've got it kind of laid out here, and this is going to be the tongue. This will be the back end. I have plates set up and kind of laid out the way I want it. This material inside the tongue comes from Harbor Freight, and we have one that sits inside the other, because one is smaller than the other, and just sits in and makes a channel out of a, not a channel, it makes a tube out of a channel. So that's where I'm going to set up my tongue. We'll put the plates across, I'll weld the tongues up, weld the outrigger. No, these are the outriggers. And then this is going to be the sidebar. I'll weld into that. And set the plane on it and see how far it goes up. Now I got these plates at the scrapyard. I think they're 3/16, and about $1 a pound, so I'm going to use about 3 of these. I'm going to fill them all up along this axle, and then I'm going to tie in the tongue to these plates and to the axle. Okay, this is my outrigger. This is going to be part of what the ramp's set on for the airplane tires. Of course, this is the trailer tire. It'll kind of kiss this area right here, the airplane tire. I'll put on the outrigger here that actually ties into the tongue. And so that tongue is kind of long, but I can cut it off at the distance or the right length when I put the airplane on. Okay, I'm welding this plate to the axle. I'm going to put another plate over here and another plate over here, and probably spacers in between. So right in between I'll put some spacers, and then that'll do the axle. Off of here I'm going to put the tongue will come off of this plate right here, and then we'll weld the tongue onto it. Okay, we're going to do some bench welding here. I'm going to add this extra piece to make it 18 inches long, and just flat weld that. Okay, we're welding up the tongue, just kind of tacking it all together.
You didn't take the paint off yet.
And the prep guy didn't take the paint off. Okay, we're setting up the plates on the axle frame here so that we can actually put our outriggers to it, and I'll kind of show you how that goes together later on in the film. There we go. Okay, welding up the axle plate, and we'll put a flat plate on the top, and then we're going to put the tongue to that. Okay, I'm going to weld the outriggers, and this is what is going to hold the frame for the tires coming up on the plane, and the ramps. And as you can see, I've got those cut out, and it looks like a mess right now, but once I get them welded on there, I'll take another video and I'll show you exactly how this is working out. So this again is the rear axle. I put flat plate on here, and the flat plate is going to take the place of the angles that I put on before. But this is a new thought out process here. This is the outriggers I was talking about, and I'll show you. I'm going to put a tire on here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because this actually holds the frame for the ramp. So you'll see that after I put a tire on it. It'll kind of start looking a little coming together, in other words. Now I'm going to add some gussets in here to kind of strengthen this outrigger out, because it's a long ways out there and we just don't want it to, you know, warp or anything. So I'm going to add some gussets in here, tie it right to the axle and to this square tubing, which is my outrigger. And so I'll tack weld all those in, or weld them. Doesn't take much of a weld, but we'll do the same thing over here on the other side, and that'll support that outrigger, which the outrigger holds the airplane back wheels on. So maybe this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is the trailer tire, and then right here is going to be the ramps for the airplane tire. And then, of course, the fender goes over here, top of that, and it'll just kiss that, kiss the airplane tire as it comes over. So we've got this pretty well up, and then the next portion will be putting the tongue on to the trailer hitch. All parts are cut, the little cutoff wheel. 4.5 inch at Harbor Freight, and this is for the fender. This will be extension for the fenders. Okay, we're welding the tongue and the braces. This is the brace. We're going to have one on each side. This is the tongue, and we've squared it out to the axle. And so comes around here, and this is, we'll flip it over and then do some weld, but right now we're putting in small braces on the tongue to the plate. Now we probably over-engineered this thing, but better safe than sorry. Okay, we've got the braces welded to the tongue, and there's our back end with our axle. These are the outriggers. That's going to hold the ramps for the airplane. So we're putting on the fender, and
that looks better than the fenders you had on the other one.
It does. Nice fenders, and so this is going right along. There's our tongue, and here's the back end of it. Making the fenders. Okay, I've welded this piece up, and this is going to be for the front tire and the winch. See the winch down there? So the winch is going to go right back here, and this is going to go on the front tire. So it's going to fit right about like that, and I'm talking on my video here, and it's going to go on the tongue right here. That's how it's going to set. Okay, we got both fenders on. We're going to kind of make the ramps tomorrow. So we got the fenders on. We'll put the stop on and the winch and the trailer jack. Okay, I bought some hinges, and these are going to go on the ramps. I'll show you that later, how that goes on the ramps. And the smaller ones are going to go for the strap that goes over the tire that locks the airplane tire into the ramp. So I'll show you how that goes together later. So this is going to be the ramp. Goes on right there, the ramp. And I call it a ramp, but it's kind of stationary.
Don't bounce it too hard because you're not square.
Okay. And then we're going to put the strap in across it. Okay, we got the, I guess you'd call it a ramp. But this is where the tire is going to set for the airplane. Then over on this side, I'm going to build a ramp, actual ramp that goes down and pulls the plane up on on this ramp. How's that? All right, we've got the airplane ramps made, and here's my hinge. See the hinge that I put, and it actually lets this ramp come up and down so that we can take the tire off in case we have a flat tire. So that's why the hinge is up. We'll put another hinge back here for the ramp to, for the plane to go on, off and on. There we go. And we've got this side also done. Okay, I've got the plane on the trailer, and this is the ramps I was talking about. This will be the strap that goes through here and holds the tire down. But I need to set this stop right here, my little stop that I need, so I can figure out exactly where to put the winch and the stop for the front of the airplane. So I've got the back over here too. This is the ramp. Kind of homemade ramp. I made out of strap and angle iron. And we'll set that and then get the front end set. Should be pretty close. So I've made my stops, and I call them stops because the wheel just, the tire from the plane just comes up and stops right at that dimension. And then you can see it's nothing but angle iron, and just angle is all it is. And it's just going to hold this. I'm going to make this strap so that it actually goes over the tire, and it'll hold this rear tire, or hold this airplane tire into the ramp itself. Now this also, from here, I'm going to measure where to put the front wheel stop. Okay, so we got the, this is going to be the hitch here. This is the winch. Got that all set up. This is the trough that the front tire is going to go in. It's going to be for the spare tire. Jack is painting.
Yeah.
And we're just going to make it kind of blue on the outside here, and then put the tread plate over the top of it. So here's the ramps, fenders. It's coming together. Okay, we're getting the hitch. That's this guy, and the winch. That's that guy. And we've got the bolts already set up for our spare tire. That'll hook up right down there. And slowly but surely we're doing some painting, and then we'll put the tread plate on it, or the diamond plate, which is that stuff. So I've welded the winch on, and this is the hitch, and the height to my trailer hitch is about 15.5 inches, so I didn't have to build this up any higher. It comes out just about right to the height of my trailer hitch on the car. So I've welded this thing solid, and on the bottom side I've got a solid weld also. This is going to be doing all the pulling, so it's got to be a good weld. Okay, now we're ready to put the tread plate on. So we'll put that tread plate on the full length of this thing, all the way up to the end. Okay, we're putting down the tread plate, or diamond plate, and we have to do a little touch-ups on the side here. So Jack has got this overhang so that we can pull it down about 3 inches in the back. So we got the deck plate on, covering up the rear wheels, and I'm going to put deck plate over on the inside of here and here and here. And we did the inside of this with a little stop for the front tire of the airplane. And the winch is on, and the hitch is on. Okay, got the tires on, and again, this is the reason why I put the hinge on here, so that we could, ramp could come down, we could actually change the tire. So this ramp will move, it's on a hinge. This ramp comes out for the plane to come on, and it's all hinged. And then I'm going to put out here, I'm going to put probably my gas tanks or something I'll put out here. This strap is to hold the tire, the airplane tire down. So we've got it almost complete here. I've got the spare tire on, And the spare tire is being held with some cut-off bolts and just welded onto the trailer. I've started the wiring. I came in through the side here, up underneath. Then I went into the frame, underneath the tire, kind of snaked it underneath the tire. I'm going to come out here for the side markers. I'm going to put 2 side markers on each side. And then the tail light's going to go right back here in this area. Right here is where the tail light's going to go, right on the fender. We're still going to put more deck plate on these. And then I'm going to put this pipe in here, which will hold my my windsock. Almost there. Monday I got to take it into DMV. Let's see, we've put on the marker lights on the side here. We've got the tail lights all hooked up on both sides. We've got the tread plate, or you don't call it tread plate. What do you call this other stuff, Jack? Deck plate is all in place. And this is actually ready to take to DMV.
Actually, it's called diamond plate.
Diamond plate. There we go. This is ready to go to DMV. Lights all work. I hooked it up, rode around the block. It seemed to work just fine. And so this is the final product.